everybody. It is Sunday, and that means it's time for Unsealed. I'm Kate Dillon from Crate Insider and Winning Motorsports Marketing, and I am joined today with my co-host, Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. And of course, we're starting to emerge from quarantine.
Yeah, we're in phase 2 now.
Yeah. You know what? At least, so phase 2 is better than phase 1.
Yeah.
I would agree. Would you agree? Because phase 1 was a whole lot of nothing. It was basically a whole lot of lockdown.
Yeah.
Now in phase 2, I'm gonna get my hair cut and colored in like June 1st. I was really pushed out. You know, I even offered my hairdresser like $100 bonus if she could get me in sooner.
So you're like trying to game the system already.
I totally was. I mean, bribery will get you everywhere, doesn't it?
It will. Well, sometimes.
I don't know. I tried. It didn't work. I still have to wait for another week.
I got people that call me and be like, hey, I'll give you, $5,000 to cheat up a crate engine, and I don't do it, so.
No, but I have had to give you extra money before to get my engines done.
Well, that's true.
Hey, I'll give you a $500 bonus if you can get my engine done this week.
No, I mean...
I have done that.
That's called motivation, not bribery.
Yeah. See, and it wasn't bribery; it was motivation. You know what? I'm still gonna give her a bonus. I'm telling you, I'm still gonna give her a bonus.
There you go. Cool.
So, tell us a little bit about your week. I've got to get logged in on the computer so I can start seeing some questions here.
My week was like normal. So went to work, did work, went home, and that was it.
So you worked.
That didn't last very long, did it?
No, I mean that sounds like me, where I say, well, I'm Kate, and I go and do Kate things. That's what we call it. All of the things.
Well, you do some weird shit, but.
Well, what do you think? What do you think I do that's weird? What would you say is weird?
I don't know. I mean, you're you, so you do some weird shit. Just trust me. Trust me, she does some weird shit. You could really be spreading.
Are you fake newsing it over there?
No.
I mean, what kind of people could think of all kinds of really, really weird things. Like, I am not organizing, like cult gatherings or something. I mean, weird to you is that. Well, you know what? You think I'm weird. You call me a white witch.
I do call you a white witch.
But today we're sitting down, and next thing you know, you're itching.
I got the eczema shit going on.
Well, you're scratching.
Hardcore with my right arm here.
Yeah, and you're scratching it to the point where it's like getting welts built up on it, and you forgot your essential oils that I gave you, your essential oil mix, your essential oil blend.
So you went and mixed up some shit real quick and gave it a blessing or.
I did not do any blessings on it. I just straight up mixed it.
Right.
Science.
There you
go. Got to follow the science. Have you not learned anything from this pandemic?
Oh yeah, the fucking COVID-19. Yeah, we got to follow the science. Let's follow the science. The science where it's been wrong every freaking time that they've put out a model.
I would agree.
Kind of like global warming.
I would agree. Oh, it looks like we've got some current events to.
Oh, you didn't even respond to that. I'm impressed. You might actually see the light finally.
I actually may have not been listening to you.
Oh, okay.
I might have gone full girlfriend and just stopped listening to you for a moment there.
Gotcha.
I'll hear wah 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 wah. Whatever. I am over the COVID thing. Oh, before we jump into saying hi to some folks, we always like to talk about what we're drinking.
I'm doing the whole basic bitch ultra today. So
basic beer. I am sporting my Brandon Marshall Racing cup here, like my Yeti cup that has Brandon Marshall Racing.
Nice.
Huge thanks from Brandon. In fact,
what are you drinking?
Well, it was straight up lemonade, but I know that once we're on live video here that you won't let me leave. So I went ahead and brought my own mix. I got
Tito's,
some lemonade, and I got some Tito's. Yeah,
there you go.
Just kind of grab some vodka. So we're gonna put some vodka. We'll be drinking a little bit of vodka today. You made me finish the bottle. It's not what I was trying to do. That eczema elbow of yours is gonna get me in trouble here. I don't know. Things could get really real here momentarily.
Oh yeah, her drunk is pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I can get my hair cut this week too.
Yeah.
And I'm vain as hell, so I'm gonna get my hair cut, and then I'm gonna go get some Just for Men gel. And next week I'll be all brown again, rather than half white.
Oh, I'm not even taking off my hat to show anybody the gray hair that's underneath here. In fact, it is now all crunchy on the ends and everything, and I don't even know.
Split ends. Mm-hmm. Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's strong.
Yeah.
Wow, I just took a sip of my vodka. Because remember, of course, we do republish this as the Racing Insiders podcast. So for my podcast listener, he made me pour way too much vodka in my drink, and so now I'm kind of choking a little bit. All right, so let's see. We've got some comments we got some folks here joining us today, and so I want to see what folks are saying. So Mikey is suggesting some whipped vodka with Hawaiian punch. I know there is.
That's like whipped cream vodka.
Well, I'm like a vodka.
I do.
Person.
I like straight vodka. I don't. I don't drink vodka mixed. I just do shots.
You do you. You do you. But no, I thought when flavored vodkas first came out, because we never know what we're going to talk about on this show, right?
Yeah.
So when flavored vodkas first came out, I honestly thought it was an absolute travesty to be messing with vodka, right? That there was something fake about them. Kind of like white Zinfandel isn't really wine.
Well, yeah, right, exactly.
It changed my mind. But no, now I have like a whole collection. I've got salted caramel vodka, I have whipped, I have chocolate whipped, I have lime, cucumber.
So you're kind of a vodka whore now.
We're not, keep it clean.
Well, no, I mean, when it pertains to vodka.
No, I am a vodka hoarder. I wouldn't say I'm a whore. I would say I'm a vodka hoarder.
I missed it by a couple letters.
Yep. Just like earlier when you tried to, okay, so I'm going to clue you in on our discussion. I was doing this, I'm writing something up and talking about how I'm Gen X, and I was like, oh yeah, well, let's look at some of the features of what makes Gen X different than millennials. And anyway, I was getting into that. But one of the articles I was reading about Gen X said that's pretty much where all the Karens come from. The Karens who want to,
the Karens
I want to contact a manager, and I think we should all stay inside. And
wear your face mask, or I'm going to report you to the police.
Those, well, like my neighbor, my Cynthia Karen neighbor, whatever.
Yeah, your neighbor that's like completely psychotic and.
Yeah, her. Anyway, so you proceeded to tell me that Kate is only a few letters different than Karen. And
it is.
Yeah, I am not a Karen.
No,
not a Karen.
No.
So,
because you're like, pro good stuff.
I am.
Not, narc out your neighbor.
No, that's yeah, Nazis were. I'm not that.
No. Yeah, that was like a thing at one point.
Yeah, it was. It was a thing.
Yep.
It was a thing. It happened to me. It was all that. So,
yep.
So let's say hi to some more folks. Bill says, I like that Steve guy. Yep.
He's not bad sometimes.
Chuck says, you are the king of Green Hill Speedway.
Ooh, God, that was back in the day.
Yeah, that's that would be Chuck Smith. So tell us a little bit about Green Hill Speedway.
Actually, Chuck sponsored me. It was like when I first moved here, and my friend Don Chatham, he decided he wanted to build a race car, and it was before we actually had I raced a little bit when I got here, and then we kind of took a little bit of time off trying to get our business open, and then my brother ended up building Don a race car, and Chuck was actually one of our sponsors, and we went out and just completely kicked the shit out of everybody at Green Hill Speedway, and it was like a limited sportsman class.
Well, where's Green Hill Speedway?
It's actually, it doesn't exist anymore, but it was like right up the road here, like less than 10 minutes away.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was kind of like, between my house, it was closer to my house than it is Harris, but you had Harris just down the road and you had Green Hill up the road here.
Wow, that's super cool. A little bit more blast from the past. I'm going to have to actually look at my little notebook here, but for anybody who doesn't know, it's a total we thing. We started another YouTube channel called Racing Rewind, and you've so far provided all of the video footage, the videotapes, and then I transcribe them and throw a quick edit on them, and we put them up on our,
them and all that.
digitize it and do that whole deal. So some of the races we put up this week are Watsonville from August of '94. The Antioch Trophy Dash from July of '91. Mm-hmm. Another Trophy Dash.
It's a bit random because we kind of bounce around from year to year, but
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not trying to like do a chronological story here or anything.
No.
And then there's an Antioch feature. So, of those videos from this week, was there any like memorable stories? I think you and one of the racers were kind of going back and forth in the comments. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think you maybe posted it Friday.
Okay.
It was the one where my best friend Bobby Scott, he was like actually well on his way to winning his first feature event, and he kind of got drove over the top of by a fellow competitor of ours, Keith Brown. I mean,
oh, so it wasn't you this time?
No, it's years in the past. So I mean, Keith's a good guy, and all that stuff, and it's just he got drove over the top of, and ultimately I ended up winning. I think I ended up winning the race, and then like after the race, I was led at the scales, and then there was a protest by my other buddy who finished second. He protested the race, and I protested the results of that because the scales that they used were the same ones I had, and they were only accurate to 1/10 of 1% per 100 pounds, or it was some shit like that. And ultimately, I ended up winning the protest because it was NASCAR. But then, the track changed the rules. That like the scales are what we go by.
Wow. You mean I posted all that and had no idea about all the drama?
Yeah, no, it was like a big drama night.
You're gonna have to post that on that
video.
video.
But it was fun though. I miss those days. I mean, I miss, all that drama.
Well, I got to see protest drama, but that was last weekend. We probably talked about it last Sunday.
Oh yeah, you did. Well, yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, there was all kinds of protest drama, but
yeah, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was at Cherokee Speedway. I got to be a trophy girl. Anybody who's on my email list might have seen that today. All right. Bob Crawford, doctor said he hopes to be back in a race car soon. Bob's been battling cancer for quite a while.
Oh, wow.
So really glad to see that for you, Bob.
Absolutely.
And he follows a lot of what we do here at Crate Insider. And
awesome.
Just definitely sending good thoughts your way, Bob.
Cancer sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I've had many family members that have suffered from that. So.
And we may have a special guest. Boo Boo never gets on the table, but
he doesn't. But he's
Boo
up
Boo
here
is
now.
like up on the table right now.
He's going after the cheese. Stay
Now-
out of the cheese.
That would be Boo Boo. All right, Watson Racing says Needmore Speedway was packed out last night.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Good for them.
any of your racing reports you guys want to drop in here in the comments,
Well,
please let us know.
what was the racetrack, the asphalt track last night here in North Carolina?
Ace Speedway.
Ace Speedway. They completely denied our governor's order.
Well,
they had over 4,000 fans in attendance, and the sheriff of the county said he was not enforcing any of the governor's unconstitutional orders to social distance and be only 25 people.
Yeah, well, and that's what we're still in phase 2. In phase 2 here, we can't have events that are more than 25 people. So
correct.
Good deal. Let's see. Bill says 2019 Indy is on right now. It's too bad. I mean, this is the first time. I saw a post this week where someone posted, because this is the first time the Indianapolis 500 has not been run on Memorial Day in a ridiculous number of years.
It's really sad.
And and it's really sad. Is I'd have to really look.
Probably
at
since
how
World
many.
War II, I would think.
That would be my guess, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
assuming World War II.
But it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Especially since we're not in a war.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I guess we are technically, a war versus a invisible virus.
The invisible enemy. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a moment for a segment on phrases that we never want to hear again.
Social distancing.
All right, I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna have to vote for new normal, because I'll be honest, I was saying new normal in the very beginning of all this. I was like,
you were like all pro,
No, well, hang on. No, I was on board. I was Team Trump. I was 15 days to stop the spread. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And I had even said in some of my videos, at the end of this, there's going to be a new normal, and let's get prepared for it, and blah 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 blah. But before you interrupt me one more time,
right?
That was all fine and dandy. I was all about promoting the new normal and what we do and all of that, until those words were uttered by Governor Roy Cooper, and he made it sound dirty. He was like grandma saying the F word.
He's like a wet dish rag.
Oh my God.
So I mean, taking anything he has to say is just.
It was just, he made it gross. He made it gross, and so I never want to hear the new normal again. All right, yours.
What,
Your next
the next
phrase?
one?
The next phrase you
Next
make.
phrase? I don't know. Fuck. Shit, I'm like on the spot now.
Well, did you want to say more about new normal?
Well, no, I mean, that's like completely lame. But I'm going to say, God, testing.
Oh, testing, tracing, trends.
Testing, tracing trends. Or the whole Governor Cooper, the 3 W's. If I have to hear the 3 W's one more time,
I actually don't even. I stopped listening. I have zoned out at this point. What are the 3 W's?
Take my Glock I just built and like shoot myself because it's like that annoying.
What are the 3 W's?
Wait, wear, and something else. I don't
Wash,
know,
maybe?
Wash.
So-
Wait,
so-
wear, wash.
What is it like?
So you have to wait 6 feet away from somebody. You have to
Wear
wear
a
a
face
mask.
mask.
You have to wash your hands. Because apparently everybody in the entire world, or in North Carolina, is too stupid to do this shit. So we have to be told by our master, Governor Roy Cooper.
Yeah. When this is over, I never want to hear the word coronavirus or COVID-19.
I never want to hear Governor Roy Cooper again.
You know what?
Hopefully that'll change in November.
After November, it'll be former Governor Roy Cooper.
I hope so.
It's pretty much how that's going to go down. Yeah, we, if we're political here, so be it. We don't really care.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point, like pretty much everybody either side of the aisle is like kind of in agreement on how lame this shit's become. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's going to be probably some more words.
And I had a conversation. I mean, just before this, I was having a conversation with my buddy on Facebook, who's in California, and he's like a super left dude. I mean, he claims to be, independent, but he's really actually far left as far as like his ideas and stuff go. And he's got some good points. I mean, he's a thoughtful dude. He's got his own podcast. He trashes Trump all the time. So he's got his own direction he goes in life. And we had a conversation a little bit ago, and I said, offer a damn solution. I hear all these people bitching on both sides, and I'm not taking up for either side. But you got people on the left, you got people on the right. They're bitching this, they're bitching that. You know what? I've not heard one solution to any of this shit.
Well, and I said the same thing.
Offer a solution. If you're going to bitch about it, offer a damn solution.
Well, that's just it. I am all about, I will only hear so much bitching about anything. I mean, this is over and the top of my attitude about life is that if you want to bitch about something, you better have a solution to offer.
No, but I'll bitch about it and you'll bitch about it, and neither one of us actually have a solution because...
Yeah, we do.
Well, I mean, we have the solution for us. We don't have a solution for everyone. So unless you got a solution for everyone... I mean, pretty much anything we say, if I'm bitching about, open up, and you're bitching about, keep closed, which we're not, we're on the same page, but for instance, then we better have a damn solution for it. You know what? Neither one of us do, so there you go. We're just talking.
I do. I have a solution.
What's your solution?
Well, my solution is the people that want to go out, and the people who want to stay home, stay home. And we be American, and we be free to make our own choices, whether they're good or for bad, and that way nobody makes anybody do anything that they don't want to do. If Karen wants to stay home, she can stay home. I think if you're old, if you're sickly, stay home. But why would you hold me back? I mean,
I'm not going to. I mean, I've tried that before, and you just like ran right over me. So.
Well, that's hashtag truth on that one, honey. Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, there's no, that's, actually, that reminds me of one of the phrases. Actually, this is a phrase that I like.
All right, so maybe we should get into some juicy talk other than COVID, because this is.
Well, no, I was changing.
Like
I was transitioning right here. So, it actually reminds me of something I learned when I was doing training about the stock market.
Right.
And they said, "Cut your losers and let your winners run."
Well, there you go.
And that's the way it is, I'm not saying like cut the losers. It's like die, but let your winners run.
Right.
That's my big point.
I would agree with that. All right.
So should we get in some text questions here?
We can, if you got any.
I've got one.
All right.
So Mikey, which by the way, Mikey, we both watched your video last night about the Daytona 1 spray lube.
Yeah, awesome
It
job,
was
dude.
freaking epic. I loved all of
Love
those little behind the scenes. Loved how you had Tommy Belmer's video in the background on YouTube, and then you had the video with me and Buck in the background when you got to your mom's house.
That was actually really funny.
That was
I mean, it was funny,
so
and
good.
I mean, I found it.
It was so
funny.
good. But here's Mikey's question. He says, question for Steve. Canton phenolic fuel pump plate, pros and cons, is it worth it?
There's no con other than the fact that after it's been run through a few heat cycles, it can actually warp, and you can have a leak right there at the fuel pump. But it's not going to be like, you know, a massive leak. The pro to it is the fact that you're actually isolating. That's what phenolic does. It's going to isolate the heat from the engine itself going into the fuel pump. So there's no real cons other than, you know, potentially you could have like a little drippy oil leak every now and again, and you know, I hate oil leaks, so I'd be grumpy about it.
Yeah.
So use silicone. That's what I'm saying.
Well, oil leaks or fuel leaks? Because
No,
it's a
oil
fuel
leaks.
pump plate.
No, it's an oil leak. It would be an oil leak.
Why would it be a oil leak at a fuel pump plate?
Because when you tighten the thing up, it warps. So unless you use silicone around it, if you just try to go dry with a gasket, you're gonna have an oil leak. If you use silicone, oh. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Never go dry. Wow, Kate's like all friggin' perverted today rather than
I
me.
am not. I just couldn't help it. Like, anyway. So we know now we use silicone with our phenolic.
Yeah, so where the fuel pump
plate.
rod goes, make sure you use silicone with the plate and don't go dry.
That might have to be the when we break that out. That might have to be the title. Don't
Right.
go in dry. Hashtag banned from YouTube. Oh my God! Message of the day. All right, let's check in with some other folks here. So we got Chuck Smith, who said you were the king of Green Hill Speedway earlier.
Right.
He also said we got through out of Harris as soon as we showed up.
We did actually.
Okay, well, I'll bet there's a story there.
There's like a total story there, but like, yeah, we went to Harris on a Saturday night. Green Hill normally ran on a Friday night, and we went to Harris on a Saturday night, and we made it. I think we went through hot laps, and we got through hot laps, and they came up and threw us out, and basically said, "Don't ever come back again."
That's like my dad at Independence, Iowa Speedway.
It was
I'm
essentially
gonna
the
have
same
to-
story. It was essentially
Yeah.
the same story as that, and yeah, so you had basically a bunch of crybaby bitches that complained to the track owner, and the track owner was like, "Yeah, don't ever bring your shit back here,
Basically a bunch of Karens.
and you can go home." Yeah,
You were racing
they wouldn't
with
even let us
Karens.
qualify, nothing. I mean, it was like, go home.
Wow. Darren says, that was cool watching Steve at Antioch Speedway.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you were like, I mean, talk about being a king. Like, that was, which one was
We're-
really your home track,
We're-
Antioch or
we're-
Watsonville?
We're talking Antioch Speedway in California. Honestly, I mean, Watsonville was my home track per se.
Because it was
But-
closer, or?
Well, yeah, it was like 30 minutes from my house. So, I mean, it was technically my home track. But Antioch Speedway was my home track to me personally because of the fans that we had. We had such a good following at Antioch. It was completely insane. We had like so many people that supported us and like cheered for us and everything. I mean, we had our haters too, like you do. You know, anytime you win races, you get people that hate you too. But I mean, for the most part, like, yeah, Antioch was like my home track. Is how I felt personally. That being said, we also raced in Antioch Speedway in North Carolina
Yeah.
because I mean, it's like right up the road in Morganton, North Carolina, or it used to be. And we
Well,
raced
it's
there.
still there, it
we-
just doesn't run.
Yeah, we raced there quite a bit too. So, I mean, there's like 2 Antioch Speedways in the world that I know of, and one's in North Carolina where I live now and I've raced at, and the other one's in California.
Boo Boo looked like he wanted to make a special guest appearance here. So.
He does not look happy.
Boo Boo's like being cuddly, because normally he would like,
Well, it's raining. He can't go out and kill
yeah,
anything.
he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Let's see. Oh, Darren asks, in that same note he was telling you about Antioch, but he asks, did you ever race at Silver Dollar Speedway?
I did not. No. Wish I would have. Actually, it's a badass racetrack. My friend Bobby Hogue raced there, and I've seen video of him racing there, but I never got a chance to go up there and race.
Well, and I guess Darren's saying that Antioch in California had over 150 cars last night, and they are racing again tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, that's one of the funnest racetracks I think you'll ever race on.
Right.
And people that live there know why. People that don't, it's one of those tracks. It's by the bay, so like when the tide's in, it's kind of like an East Bay deal, like for people on the west or on the East Coast. So it's like East Bay. So when the tide's in, the track is hammered down, full of holes, just wide open, bouncing through stuff, bouncing off people, like crazy racing when the tide's out and it's hot, which it can be over there. Yeah, I mean, be 100 degrees in Antioch. It's dusty and slick, and it's like asphalt racing. So I mean, it can go from one extreme to the next, and it's one of them places just like extremely fun to race. It's probably like a falls, honestly.
Okay. Interesting. Bill's giving us a report. Says Kyle Larson won the World of Outlaws race at I-55 Peevely, Missouri last night.
Good for Kyle.
Good for Kyle. Absolutely.
Yeah, since he doesn't have a NASCAR ride now.
And also a new track record Friday night, 9.995 seconds. The first 9-second lap at Peevely. So under 10 seconds, so track record.
That's pretty freaking
I think
awesome.
I saw a headline on that, maybe on Facebook. I haven't really been on Facebook.
Damn,
a
that's
lot.
hauling ass.
Yeah.
What was that in?
That would have been Kyle at World of
car?
Outlaws.
Holy shit.
World of Outlaws.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's fast. Well, I don't know how big that track is, but
Peevely probably a 9-second lap's got to be a quarter mile.
yeah. Well, we might learn in the comments here. Just here. Oh, and apparently they've got their own version of Roy Cooper out there, because he says he never wants to hear Oregon Governor Kate Brown again.
Yeah.
If it's brown, flush it down.
There you go.
Well, and the person who's competing with Roy Cooper for the governor spot this year is Dan Forrest.
Yeah.
And so the phrase there is "Run, Forrest, run," which is great. Chuck Wilkerson says, I say the solution is to take another drink. So, we got problem solvers in
Always.
this group
Cheers.
right here. Cheers.
With
Cheers.
your super strong vodka drink.
I did not mean for it to be this strong. Now that your elbow is cured with my White Witch essential oils.
I just had a twitch.
Bull. Did you notice that I didn't finish that sentence? Bill says, my sign on Tuesday was rain, rain, go away.
No shit,
And-
it's like pouring down right here right now.
Well, it's not pouring because it was
Well, it's
bad.
not. It was like horrible.
It was so bad 45 minutes ago that we thought, might have to take the show inside
Well,
because,
we had
or
an
might
inch-
do AirPods or something.
We had an inch of water on your deck, and it was like up. I'm like in the
It's
flip
a
flops today.
patio. It's
so,
a patio, so like the water comes in.
yeah, my feet are like soaking wet. So
Yeah, and we could give them a view here. This is so we're in this gazebo thing,
Yeah.
and it I do love the gazebo. I love the gazebo.
no,
I mean,
it's,
it was
it's kind of kind of steel.
yeah. I mean, for the last 2 summers, I've had the cloth gazebo things,
Yeah.
and now I have the
hard plastic top
yeah
gazebo thing.
yeah Amazon-y thing. So
Yeah.
it's good.
There you go.
It's good. It's good. All right. Let's see.
One thing I do want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
So, like, this weekend I had a good customer of mine, Kenny Collins, call me. Or he text me, and unfortunately I didn't get the text until this morning, but he wanted me to call a specific track owner and explain to him about, like, the CT525 FUEL engine
Okay.
versus, a bone stock engine.
Tell us about
And,
it.
well, I mean, that's what I want to dispel. Like, there's these rumors running around, and they have since last year because of a couple of jackasses on Facebook, that like somehow our engines make like all this giant amount of horsepower. No, that's not the scenario. Like in the fuel series with the CT525, 2 years ago we had a problem with these things exploding, like factory engines blowing up. The problem was the pistons and the rod bolts. So the fuel series, the fuel racing series, decided to be proactive and allow us to change the connecting rods and the pistons in the engine, as well as the oil pump, because that was the other weak part of the engine. And so we did that. and it really produces no more power than a stock engine, because it was designed not to produce more power than a stock engine. And I mean, Kenny got denied racing a place tonight because he's got different connecting rods and different pistons, even though the power level's the same, which is kind of a shitty deal.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna back you up on this a little bit and come out with a slightly different angle.
Because what he would be racing against would be 750 horsepower steelhead engines that cost $35,000. So apparently the track that he was going to race at tonight didn't want him to run there because his $7,200 or $7,500
525 horsepower engine.
Well, 580 horsepower.
Okay.
525 had different rods and different pistons in them.
Well, I think what we really need to do here is when for anybody who doesn't know, we take this show here, and for some of the tech pieces, we break them down into smaller bits.
Right.
But when we post this, I think one thing important to note is that we look at the history of this entire situation. And I can refer to an interview that I had with Bill Martins at GM Performance at PRI, where they identified the fact that these 525s were having some issues.
Now, they were having failures.
GM, they were. And we're not throwing GM under the bus here. But the truth is, and there's no but here, it's just the truth is
what it is. They corrected the problem.
When you have a giant company like GM, though, you have an entire supply chain. And the whole deal is, like, if I want to order something, if I find out about a new product tomorrow, I can order it. And when I order it, if it ships that same day, I'm going to get it in 2 to 5 days, depending on whether it's coming from, Tennessee or California, right? I mean, I can move around in a business like a speedboat can. I am very quick to respond, and I can make things happen. But when you're a giant multinational corporation and you identify an issue like that, and you have an entire engineering team, and you have an entire supply chain to deal with, you can't just go, oh, you know what, we're just going to change that piece in it. You can't do that.
Well,
so it took them a lot longer to do that.
It's the same thing as the U.S. military. You're not gonna go all of a sudden like, oh yeah, we're no longer gonna have the Beretta, but now we're gonna have the SIG 320.
And everybody has a SIG 320.
And all of a sudden, the next day, everybody's got it. No. This is a progression. It takes X amount of time to convert everything over to.
Right.
Now everybody's got a 320.
So I can refer you back to PRI 2018 when I talked to Bill Martins about it.
It's not a 320. It's an M17 is what it is.
Okay. Well, I'm going back to the
320s.
Whatever. I don't know anything about the military, but what I do know about is 525s. And I do know about GM and what happens there. So I can refer every one of these track promoters back to my interview with Bill Martins.
Correct.
And PRI 2018 talking about the changes they're going to make. Right. Now, those engines were not actually fully available until late October, early November of 2019.
Well, yeah, it would have been 19.
August.
Yeah, it was like just before.
But it was 19.
Tournament. Yeah.
So because of that, then there's another interview with Bill Martins at PRI 2019 where we talk about that. And there's also a video with Don Blackshear from Pace Performance, who is also the Motorsports Development Director for Pace Performance. He's helped set up series throughout the country with the 525. And what happened with the Fuel series, they're the speedboat version, and they were able to identify the problem, act very quickly, and pick something.
Have a solution
that was going to keep these engines from blowing up.
Correct.
Because there was a true failure issue, with Don Blackshear will affirm to or attest to. And because of that, I can refer you, any track promoter, I can refer you to 3 separate interviews that talk about the progression of this issue. I can talk about the solution and Fuel. The whole idea of the Fuel series and the rod bolts and things that they chose, they're maybe different than what GM ended up ultimately choosing, but they were chosen a year and a half before.
Yeah, it was
before the new engines were available.
It was ahead of the curve.
It solved the problem, but it's not a huge performance changing.
It's not even a performance changing advantage.
It just keeps the engine from blowing up.
That's what it was designed to do. It keeps the engine from exploding. So
exactly. So yes, any promoter who wants to know more information, there's not one but 3 interviews talking about
No,
it.
exactly. And, you know, they can call me or they can call you and get the same information. So,
Yeah, and I'm not going to be able to say, like, it's, you know,
or they can call
Acme products,
or,
blah, blah, blah.
or they can call Jason Atkins of the Fuel Series and
Yeah.
talk to him about it. Because
Yeah.
he's going to tell you the same damn thing. Because this is what this whole system was designed around, was making things more affordable for people. So in other words, you can buy, or you got your, you know, if you didn't blow it up, you've got your 2-year-old, you know, 525, and it's time to freshen the thing up. Guess what? Now you can freshen it up, where before we couldn't do that. And now you can put components in it that's going to, like, you know, make the thing basically live forever.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And we solved a problem where there was a problem to be solved.
That's right. You know, there's the book from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends. I really shouldn't be drinking vodka while I'm on video. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Right.
Josh Helms apparently has not read that book because he has some weird, he's saying Hendren cheats, but he's got like weird caps and smalls and fire explosion thing and, you know, but, you know, I think that brings us to a good question.
Well, you know, I used to build his engines, so what's that tell you about Josh?
Oh.
If I cheat, then so does he.
And now he runs a series?
Yeah, now he runs a series. Oh, my God. And I'm also certified an engine builder for his series. Oh!
No, we all know that Josh is
joking
killing.
around.
But, you know, I think it brings up a good question, though, is that, now, we talked about earlier that even if somebody offers you $5,000, or it could be a lot more.
It's not going to happen.
You're not going to cheat them. But let's...
My livelihood is this, so I've got no desire to...
You get caught cheating, you lose your house.
Yeah.
Is that not the reality?
No, I like making money, and in order to continue making money, I need to be involved with these series, and that's what we do, so...
And that's who your loyalty is to.
Correct.
And your loyalty is also to your family.
The only reason I can afford Ultra is because, you know, I do what I do.
Yes, and you're holding up your beer.
Yeah, I'd like have to be drinking Old Milwaukee Best or Natural Light or some shit. If
my God, I couldn't date
didn't have
you.
my business.
If you're a Keystone guy, there's no way I could date you.
No,
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
Milwaukee's Best was like bad enough. But you brought up Keystone. That's horrible.
I mean, this girl's got to have some standards. I'm just saying. Just saying. Every girl's got to have some standards. But wow, yeah. And Josh is laughing, of course.
Of course. You better
be. But you know, let's talk a little bit about that, though. That there are some series out there, just probably the same thing with Kenny Collins' engine, where they see it's a Hendren engine. Now, in some places, when you see Hendren on the valve cover decals, which is a whole nother deal.
Essentially,
right?
it's like a pass-through tech.
People know that your stuff isn't cheated up.
Correct.
But there's other people who have this automatic thought that if you have a Hendren engine, automatically your engine is better than anything else. So there are weight some people have to add weight to their cars because they have a Hendren engine.
Mostly it's in the 525 series or 525 series or limited late model stuff. Yeah, there's a 602 thing too. Yeah, I don't know. Considering the fact that none of our shit's ever been caught cheated up because it never will be. And we just happen to have really good racers who buy our stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at like the what is that series? The 602 series around here.
Thunder series.
Hey,
I was trying to not throw anybody under the bus.
Well,
but
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm just saying they you know.
It's an unfair rule.
The first year that they did that, Dale Timms went out and kicked the shit out of everybody and won a bunch of races. And so year 2, they come up with the Dale Timms rule.
That's what I call it.
That's what I call it too. You know, throw 50 pounds in front of the motor plate because you got a rebuilt engine or you got like something that's been resealed. To me, that's completely stupid because what you're saying is that an engine that's been rebuilt or remanufactured, however you want to put it, blueprinted is better than a stock engine. So you're completely shooting yourself in the foot with your whole series by even admitting that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, and I think what you're really doing too is you're destroying the longevity, because, yes, there's the camp of blueprinting, which let's use blueprinting as the...
Well, that got turned into the F word of racing by, I'm just going to bring him out here, as my buddy Stan. So he's the one that turned that into the F word of racing, just like he turned in the other F word of racing, which is tire prep. So there's that.
I sell tire prep.
Yeah, I know you do.
Well, and okay, to be fair, there are any of the big series, none of them allow prepping tires.
Correct.
But there are plenty of places that don't that is a rule. It's not a rule.
Well,
there's plenty of places that don't tech it, and if you don't tech it, it's not a rule.
If you're racing local Podunk, Nebraska, and you're not on tire prep, then you're not winning races. I'll just put it that way.
You know what? I actually got a video from one of a guy who is used to the Daytona 1 Aqua.
Well, and by the way, this shit's not going to kill you, because you have people like Daytona 1 who are using product that is environmentally friendly, actually.
You know what? I'm going to do a little product placement right here.
Oh, you were actually cleaning your phone with that earlier.
Okay, not only that. All right, so before it was raining, and by the way, for anybody who's just listening and not watching, I have a can of the Daytona 1 Professional Glass Cleaner in my hand. And so what happened earlier was, okay, I literally do use this for everything, but I mean, I'm talking everything, like surfaces.
What does Tim Bird's
glass.
dad do every time he comes to my shop? Charlie Bird. What does he do?
He buys a
every
case
time he comes from
of
Tennessee when he brings us moonshine. What does he do?
He buys
a case of the glass cleaner for his wife.
Yep. Because it's amazing. And here's what I learned this week, and I tried it out for myself. So, and I might have talked about this on Top 5 Tuesday, but that's okay. Not everybody listens to Top 5 Tuesday.
No.
So
I don't.
So it was a. You're a dick.
I'm busy. I'm working. I'm doing shit.
You know what? If I wasn't on Top 5 Tuesday, I probably wouldn't watch it either.
Oh, there you go.
But anyway, it was really a funny deal. So a racer, I was on the phone with Mark from Daytona 1.
Right.
And at the very same time, I was getting a private message from a racer, David, and David asked, hey, can you use the glass cleaner on Lexan? He has an asphalt car. So while I was on the phone with Mark, because David tells me, he says, David's like, hey, I looked at the glass cleaner, and nowhere on there does it say that you can use it on Lexan. And Lexan can scratch very, very easily. And so I'm on the phone with Mark, and Mark from Daytona 1, and he tells me, well, here's the deal. Not only does he use the glass cleaner, but use the finishing glaze, which I call spray wax.
We talked about this last week.
Did we?
You totally told the story last week.
I don't know. I mean, I've learned to
you did.
to have to repeat myself.
No, you did.
Well, not everybody was listening last week.
Okay.
So anyway, the finishing glaze works great. Well, but anyway, so here's what I learned from this, is that because the Daytona 1 Professional Glass Cleaner does not have any alcohol, it doesn't scratch at all. Which means that when I was looking at my laptop screen earlier, because you've been playing your golfing game.
Yeah, I've been playing Golf Clash.
Which is totally fine.
All day.
We like to hang out and not really talk to each other sometimes.
Right.
So you like to play your golf game. I wanted to work on some things that I was working on.
Computer-y stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Laptop stuff. So I was out here with the laptop, and it was, before it started raining, it was really, really sunny.
It was like 85 degrees or something.
It was. It was burning up. I have changed clothes 3 times today, you guys. 3 times. First, I started out with a tank top and capri yoga pants. Then it was hot, so I had my tank top and I had shorts on. Then it started raining and it got cold, so I turned on a tank top, jean jacket, and jeans.
I have not changed because it's still like 75 degrees. So.
Well, I live here, so I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have no choice.
No.
You are run what you brung.
No, I showed up in my plaid shorts and my friggin' Bud Light shirt.
I even bought you some new plaid shorts too.
What is that? Friggin' St. Patrick's Day Bud Light shirt.
Yeah, shamrock. You got a shamrock on your shirt. Anyway, since I learned that Daytona 1 glass cleaner was not going to scratch, I had all this like little dust on my laptop screen. I sprayed it onto a microfiber cloth. I dusted off my laptop screen, and it's beautiful.
Nice. No
streaks. And I'm telling you, like, I am somebody who, people would try to come into my office back when I was a draftsman. That takes me back. I used to work in architecture.
We know.
Yeah. I don't think everybody knows that.
maybe,
Not
maybe
everybody
nobody
knows that. But I was an interior designer and I was a draftsman. So people would come into my office and they'd try to like touch my screen. I was like, "Oh, no, don't touch my screen. Nobody touches my screens, right? There's no fingerprints on my screen." But this had gathered so much dust, didn't know what to do about the laptop. Used the microfiber cloth with the glass cleaner, and I'm telling you, then I went to town on everything else. So if you're seeing a clear picture this is from my iPhone that we're recording on today.
Yeah.
My laptop is clear. Like,
Right.
everything's good in my world right now.
All right, good. Any more questions?
I didn't even mean to do a product placement there, but I did it anyway.
No, I know you did.
Okay. All right.
It was kind of rambly, but okay. Of course, you're
Yeah.
drinking vodka, so what could be expected?
Well, I'm going to blame it on you. That is Steve's fault.
It's like
All of a sudden,
it's like you're a left-winger blaming Trump for everything kind of thing, right?
I took a 12-word story and turned it into 2 minutes because of
Yeah.
you put too much vodka in my drink.
All right, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, shit. I'm going to get my ass smacked.
Okay, so when he tried to call me Karen earlier, I also reminded him that my name Kate is really close to cat, and I am thankful every day when I wake up and my cats don't murder me in my sleep. So
Right.
I just reminded him that cats murder people.
They do.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. And my
Yeah.
name is much closer to cat than it is to Karen.
All right, there you go.
Okay. All right. Ben Fairfax says, love watching this series. Hi from cold Canberra, Australia.
Oh, there's our buddy Ben.
Golly gee, you know what? You're probably going to go into a whole thing about Canberra.
No, I got to go into a whole thing about how we met Ben.
Oh my God, it's that Ben?
It's that Ben.
Oh my God,
it's-
Ben! I did not know it was that. Okay,
Yep.
you're gonna have to tell the story. Tell
All
the
right.
story.
So we're at Charlotte.
And we go to Charlotte. Oh my God, that's gonna make me sad because
Yeah, I
it's
know.
Memorial Day weekend. We should be in Charlotte right now.
Well, no, but I mean,
we're not.
Well, we're not. Yeah,
Because of the COVID.
Because of the COVID. But anyways, yeah. So we meet Ben at Twin Peaks.
Because we always hang out at Twin Peaks when we're in Charlotte.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you got to do. But so we go to Twin Peaks in Charlotte, like way before the race. I think it was like World Finals weekend, if I remember right.
Well, and when it rains, then
And-
we do 8-hour shifts at Twin Peaks.
Well, that's what ended up happening. It ended up raining out I think it was like night 1 or night 2. I think it was night 2. It ended up raining out. And we ended up pulling a whole shift at Twin Peaks. And who's sitting next to us? But Ben from Australia. Well, guess what happens? I used to live in Australia, so me and Ben start talking, and we've got all this shit in common, and blah, blah, blah. And he lives in the same town that I lived in when I was there and all that stuff. So it's kind of a small worldish kind of deal. But at any rate, yeah, we've been buddies ever since. On Facebook. We haven't seen each other ever since. He was supposed to come out last year, but he completely failed in doing that. So that's on Ben, not on me.
Okay.
But
All right, well, Ben, if you're going to come out early or later, I'm just going to let you know that, so I live in a townhouse, and I was going to extend this invitation to you, but because I live in a townhouse, I actually I have the townhouse next to me too, because I was tired of having shitty neighbors. So next time you come to the United States, now I'm
all
an
you,
hour
dude.
and something from Charlotte, but you can come stay in my other townhouse.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
And I'll extend that invitation.
And
This
Ben's
will be
a
far more.
badass. He's a racer and everything. So I
No,
mean,
so
we-
and he and Alex really connected. They can maybe
Yep.
make some videos together.
Him and Alex him and Alex probably stay more in touch on Facebook than what I do, just because I don't know, I'm busy and Ben's busy, that kind of shit. But
Yeah, and you're you.
And I'm me.
You do you.
yeah, I mean,
No, Ben. Thank you so much for tuning in for sure. Because it's either 11 or 12 hours of difference there. So
16 from here, I think.
is it okay?
Yeah.
Because actually, you know what? I am going to have an interview with my Australian friend Nigel next Friday.
There you
It's
go.
4:00 my time. It's 6:00 in the morning his time.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Well, Nigel's
so-
like doing you a service by waking up early.
Yeah, Nigel Harper
There you
from
go.
Scorpion Racewear.
There you
Give
go.
a little bit of plug there for
Yep.
my Aussie friends. And I think he's probably going to want to talk to me about like racing sponsorship and that kind of thing. The stuff that I talk about on Winning
Oh,
Motorsports
cool shit.
Marketing. Yeah. Okay, we got a question from Josh
All right.
now. So he says, so I need to go spend another $3,800 versus refresh for $500 to $1,000 depending on the condition of the engine. freaking geniuses. So talking, like, this is actually not really a question, it's more of a comment on what we were talking about with freshening a 602 engine. So let's talk about...
All right, so like you go buy a new 602 right now, I mean, depending on where you buy it from, $36.95, so let's say
$4,000.
Let's say $3,700. I mean, whatever. Odds are, like, if you have a used engine that's 3 years old, because a lot of guys run 602s, you're going to run them 3 years, and you need it rebuilt, you're looking at basically $3,000. So you're going to save, well, it's $3,000, plus I'm blueprinting it.
Yeah.
Which blueprinting means I'm putting it by factory specs.
Yeah.
It's no magic deal, it's just I'm putting it by factory specs. So you're looking at like $3,000 versus
$4,000.
$3,800, $4,000, whatever, wherever you buy it from. And so, yeah, you're saving money.
Yeah, you are. And so it's kind of a dick rule if you're going to make people add weight for...
Oh, it's completely,
freshening.
it's completely stupid.
Yeah, I would agree.
Mean,
and it's David is here that was asking about the glass cleaner. He says great glass cleaner. He did a great video. Love your video, David. And for anybody who's done the D1 challenge, this week we're going to try to get
tell
those.
them about that.
You know, I had this idea. So the D1 challenge, it's done now. It ended yesterday.
Yeah.
But the idea was you just take any Daytona 1 product, you do a video about it, and you got this whole prize pack and stuff. Had some wonderful videos.
For doing the video.
Just for doing a video. Just saying, hey, wow, look, I'm going to try this out. And it's whatever. And there were some great videos. You know, I had some people that did video for the very first time because I push video hardcore. And I am so, so proud. I mean, that takes a lot of courage to put out your first video.
No, absolutely.
It does. And David,
I've never done that.
you haven't. You're only on video because
Yeah, I mean, I'm on here because you make me.
Hashtag let's be real.
Hashtag Karen made me.
That is the hashtag of the day right there. I really love David's video. He tried it out. He was the one asking me about it. He tried that out, and it looked great on his deal.
Awesome.
Josh says that the Daytona one's so good of a product that new rule, must add 10 pounds if you use Daytona 1. Too good of a product for the 602s.
Yeah, that's actually true. But I'll tell you what, if you're looking at a 604 or a 602, and you're talking like the Daytona 1 engine treatment, that helps a 602 more than it actually helps a 604.
Ooh, tell me more.
I've got data to back that up.
Okay.
So, just saying.
Hey, have you come out with your 2020 recommendations yet?
For 604s, yes. 602s, I have not. Just because I'm lazy and I haven't done it yet.
You know, because I'd like to...
So I actually need to do it. I mean, it's going to be very similar to 604, just like it always is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there will be a few things that will probably change. But
do I sell all of the things?
like what we recommend?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Because I told you to.
If I tell you to be on video?
Because it's good shit. I mean, that's why we sell what we sell. We don't do okay. We do better and best.
Oh my God, you are totally stealing my line there.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, it's what we do. I don't do.
Oh, yeah, actually,
I don't do. Oh yeah, this oil's okay. No, I say this oil's the best, or this oil's better than the best.
Well, I got to tell you the phrase I normally say, and this is going to totally strike a chord with you, because I tell people all the time that I don't care if you're buying toilet paper or race car parts. There's good, better, and best. I don't sell good. I only sell better and best.
Oh, that's exactly
But
true.
you know, the sad thing is you can't even... The only way you can get toilet paper this week is to borrow it from my house. And by the way, when it comes to toilet paper, I'm a girl, so I'm going to buy best.
Yeah.
And you even told me that my toilet paper was better than
Oh, it's
what
like
you normally buy.
super soft on my asshole. Trust me. It's like
Hashtag Frank Talk on Unsealed.
well, no, I mean
This is what people show up for.
no. So I like go to. I mean, me and my son Alex Hendren, we're like down to like the community roll of toilet paper in our house.
They're always down to the community roll.
Meaning, I've got my bathroom, he's got his bathroom. We're like constantly. I'm like, shit, I've got no crap paper, so I like have to go down to his go down the house to his toilet and like get the community roll, which is down to about like that big around. And I'm like, damn, I gotta go get toilet paper.
Like 24 squares left, basically.
Oh, this is like on Wednesday, so I'm like, there's a dollar store right up the street from my house, from my shop, and I leave work on Wednesday night and I like go down there. I'm like, there's no freaking toilet. There's not even paper towels in the damn place. So I go up the counter. I'm like, when are y'all gonna have toilet paper back? Because like I need a roll, and that's all I want. I just want like a 4-pack. I don't want to hoard it. I just want a 4-pack. And she's like, well, we'll have it Friday, but it's first come, first serve because we're not allowed to, limit how much toilet paper people buy. I'm like, why can't you limit how much toilet paper people buy? I mean, it's like, get a pack, get whatever. And she's like, well, because this woman came in here, a Karen, came in here the other day, and she wanted to buy like 10 things of Clorox wipes, and we said she could only have 2, and she got mad. Of course, here's Karen.
Complaining to corporate.
And she called corporate, and corporate said, it's not your job to limit how much shit people buy. So we can no longer, limit how much product people buy of, if they're trying to hoard stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then Friday, yeah. I go to Food Line to get my skunk some food and buy us some badass steaks we had the other night.
Oh my God, our steaks were so good.
Kick ass.
Yes.
Anyways, I go to Food Line on Friday, and I go in there, no toilet paper, no fucking paper towels. And I'm like, what the hell?
So you came here.
All the Karens are running around buying up all the toilet paper and paper towels. And so I come here, I'm like, Kate, hate to say this, but I gotta borrow like a roll of toilet paper. Not like I'm ever gonna freaking return it, but
For the love of God, please do not return it.
No, I'm like I gotta borrow like a roll of paper or a roll of toilet paper because like I'm done. I mean, my kid's up in Pigeon Forge with his girlfriend this weekend, but I'm like, I know what I'm gonna need like come tomorrow because we had a good meal. And so what does she do? She not only gives me 1 roll of toilet paper, she gives me 2, which is just freaking awesome. But then, like, I went to use it, and I'm like, this is like super quilty soft. I'm like, wow, this is like, I don't even know what brand this is, because she just gave me 2 rolls of toilet paper. So, what brand was that?
It's Charmin.
Badass shit.
It really is. It really is. I mean, when you're a girl, you kind of use it more than a guy does.
It's badass shit for a badass shit, I will tell you that.
Well, and and the funny thing is that so
keep talking.
I know your beer. So the thing, you messed up my hat.
Oh.
I go, wow, you're breaking things.
God damn it.
You're melting your cigarettes and all kinds of things. Anyway, so the reason I have so much toilet paper is because I started my Costco membership in like February, and it was about the same time that I was refurbishing the townhouse next door. And if you're going to buy anything from Costco, which by the way, I have to order online because there's not a Costco, Costco's like an hour away. So I bought toilet paper so that I would have enough for my house, my place, and for the townhouse next door. And so that's why I have toilet paper. And it's not like I'm not going to use it, right? That's kind of the idea there.
I got a pee too, by the way.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so let me see if there's any questions for me. Let's see. So I'm going to hit the questions right here. So Ben asks, tell me about tire prep. Never heard of it here in Australia. It's not in our rule book. Should I be using it? Okay, so if you can, do. Now, if it's not in your rule book, if it's not a rule, it's not a thing. So the idea about tire prep, and you can check out the videos that we do. We have a whole video series. In fact, I have a funny story to tell you. So when I started making videos, it was in 2015, I think. I'd have to look back one more time on YouTube. But I had the Daytona 1 products, there are 4 tire preps. And so if you are running with a series that doesn't allow you to run tire prep, just like tune me out for the next however many minutes I'm talking about tire prep. But if it doesn't matter for your series, then you can listen in. So anyway, There's 4 products that are part of this series of the Grip Bite series for Daytona 1. And I thought, wow, I'm starting to make videos. How perfect. Buck is coming up from Daytona 1. He can tell me about the tire prep.
When's he coming up?
No. I'm taking people back in time to when I first made my tire prep videos. I'm telling the story.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I thought, hey, how perfect. There's like 4 products, so I can make 4 individual videos, and then I can put it all together as a one video for the whole series of products. And wow, look, I'm gonna have 5 videos for my starting to do video deal. Oh my God, I pissed off every single series that was out there. I pissed off Rush, I pissed off Neesmith, I pissed them all off, right? And I didn't mean to do that. I mean, the thing is, yeah, that's against the rules in their series, but there's other series that's not against the rules in. Ben's asking about tire prep. So, the old school tire prep was where you take things like, I don't know, toluene or gasoline.
Pre-so,
yeah, and you soak your tires and it breaks them down, but because they're broken down, they're gummy and then they grip better. But Daytona 1, the same company that built the glass cleaner that we were talking about.
It also ruins rubber.
Well, yeah, those ruin rubber.
I mean, around our area here in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, goat piss was like the go-to back in the day.
Yeah, and there was another one too. What was the one where we were walking around Charlotte one time and you're like, I can smell this?
Oh, it was Lambert Blue.
Lambert Blue, yeah.
We're walking around, it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We're walking around like they had the UMP modifieds there.
Yeah.
I like walked by a trailer and I'm like, that's freaking Lambert Blue. I used the shit out of that stuff. I know exactly what that was.
That was right up there with like the perfume of your ex-girlfriend. Like, I can't wear Eternity anymore because it reminds him of a high school girlfriend.
Well, not a high school girlfriend, but
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, ruined it for me.
yeah, don't wear Eternity.
That was my scent for a long time. Anyway, so tire preps today, you can use those ones that are destructive, and most of those are destructive to a tire.
Most of them are
break it down.
destructive, exactly.
But with the Daytona one, how I like to explain it is it's more like a leather conditioner. So think about like if you've got an old leather seat in a car.
Can I talk for a second?
No, I'm not yet.
Okay.
Let me finish my thing and then you can.
All
So
right.
leather conditioner, if you take old crappy leather and it's all cracked and use a leather conditioner and you put it on there and it makes it all like soft and smooth and supple and creamy and wonderful, that's what Daytona 1 tire prep does. Now you can talk.
So you've got tire prep that is like hammer down qualifying kind of situation where you're like, you don't care whether you destroy the tire or not. That's one scenario, but predominantly what gets used is a conditioner. And what I mean by conditioner is as the natural oils go out of the tire, what the conditioner does is replaces those oils. So it keeps the tire good longer. I mean, good longer. I mean, it sounds kind of stupid, but it's actually what it does. So, explaining this in like a way that, I don't know, maybe some people will understand. I mean, this is going to sound stupid as shit, but here's how it was explained to me years ago. So, you've got the tire. What? You got the tire here. Here you got the ground, right? So you got the dirt. In between the tire and the dirt is a thin layer of oil that tire runs on. Okay? So when you've got tires that are frayed, when you've got tires that are they're starting to like fray really bad, either from traction or side bite or whatever, they're fraying in one direction or the other. That means the rubber itself is contacting the ground. So when you put like a conditioner or a tire prep, so to speak, into a tire, it maintains that layer of oil to where that's what gives you traction. It's not the tire itself contacting the ground. So in other words, like an engine bearing. So you got an engine with a crankshaft, and what do you have? You have a thin layer of oil between the bearing and the crank that the crank actually rides on. The crank's not contacting the bearing. So in a sense, that's what tire prep does, or tire conditioner, tire prep. I don't give a shit what you want to call it, but that's what it does.
Well, it's interesting from that example. What I would say that tire prep does is that it creates a larger surface area. I mean, if you've got, let's say if you had wheels made out of steel that were running on a track, they would spin a lot more. They wouldn't have any grip. Whereas if you have rubber and you have a lot more surface
Well, no,
area,
if you had wheels on,
lots of little fingers.
right.
I don't know. There's lots of ways to explain it.
There's
I didn't understand the oil thing.
Ton of ways to explain it. I mean, but it's essentially like a crankshaft ring on engine bearings.
Well, you know, and that is not a good girl explanation for me. I like girl explanations.
Yeah, I know.
But one thing you did tell me a long time ago that I did really internalize is that tires are the one point of contact that a race car has with the ground.
Correct. Or the
And-
racetrack.
Yeah. Regardless, but it's the one point of contact is tires, and that's why it's so vital and so important. And if I think about a tire as having all these little fingers that are like gripping on, I love how the Daytona 1 products are called grip bite, because grip and bite tells me the whole story.
Yeah, exactly.
Grip gives you bite. Okay. All right, this is a totally different question, kind of
Okay.
off the subject.
Cool.
What is the best zinc additive for flat tappet cams?
I actually don't use any zinc additives. I'll tell you why. Number one, because I think zinc additives are kind of stupid because you're not using the right kind of oil if you have to add an additive to it, as far as zinc goes. So what we do is like our standard, every engine that leaves my shop, whether it's a 602, 604, 525, you know, limited late model motor, super late model motor, whatever, leaves there with Schaefer's oil in it. Reason being is because of their zinc that's in the system. Now, if you're talking like a roller cam engine, it's not that necessary. You're talking a flat tappet engine, the zinc is necessary in order to break the cam into the lifters, not, you know, flatten the cam, not, you know, cause any kind of problems. But this whole break-in oil thing, to me, is a joke.
Until you found one here recently, but
Well, no.
that's kind of a secret thing, you know.
It's not a secret thing. It's
Well,
just
it's a secret thing until I have it on the website.
well, no. I mean, I've used the Z-Max break-in oil, and I was
You
actually
can't keep a secret for shit.
no, I was actually impressed with it. I mean, it was pretty impressive as far as like, because I put it in my. I mean, we're gonna be crash test dummy on everything. I'm not gonna test my shit on customer stuff. I mean, we're gonna test on our own stuff. So I put it in my kid's engine because they sent it to me for free to try. And, you know, normally where it would take 5 or 6 passes on my chassis dyno in order to break the engine in and get the ring seated. I mean, we had the ring
not 40. I just want to make sure.
No, it's not 40 or 50. we had the ring seated in like 2 passes. And so I was like really impressed with it. I mean, it was good. It's a good product. So, which is why I told her, hey, you know, maybe this is something you need to sell on the internet, or, you know, on the website.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, everything that leaves my shop got Schaefer's in it, and the reason being is within 4 to 5 passes on the chassis dyno, or 5 to 6, whatever, and then or with like 4 to 5 straightaway runs, you know, in hot laps, pretty much the rings are seated and the engine's making power. I've never had one single flat tappet failure with Schaefer's oil in it.
Nice.
I mean, not even one. Now, after the engine's broke in on what we send out the door with, if you want to change to Mobil 1 or you want to change to, I don't know, frickin', what's that damn bullshit oil?
Well, if you're saying bullshit oil, AMSOIL.
Amway shit.
AMSOIL.
If you want to change to AMSOIL after that's done, then you can.
God, you're a dick.
No, I hate it. AMSOIL is like freaking Amway. I mean, good God.
Well,
I did oil testing for like a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and AMSOIL was like an AMSOIL rep was one of them, and the guy wanted his oil back. I mean, I had to drain the oil out and give it back to him in freaking gallon jugs because he wanted his oil back.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other ones
Jesus
you
Christ.
run and dump.
It's just a fucking joke.
Yeah.
So, anyways, AMSOIL to me, shit.
All right, I'm going to read some comments here. So Josh says, prepping is an art. It's nothing about softening it. It's about making it work faster and longer.
Correct.
That's good. James, Kate, it's the difference with you running with high heels versus sneakers. Talking about tire prep.
Oh,
Perfect,
right.
perfect. Scott Tracer asks, what about Brad Penn? We get this question so much. You know, we're gonna have to do an oil testing data deal again because we get the Brad Penn question so many times.
All right.
Tell us about that.
The Brad Penn stuff, to me, it's the old Kendall. I ran Kendall oil. I started racing in 1987, so I ran Kendall oil because at the time it was the best shit on the market. I ran that for years. Because what we found, it was the best shit around. Now, fast forward to today, and it's basically the same shit. And oil has come way far. And I don't see it as being all that great. Now, that being said, I also have friends such as Buck Parker at Daytona 1, who has basically tested every oil known to man because of the work he does with F1 and the work he does with, you know, a bunch of different extremely high echelon racing series.
F1.
And, yeah, the Brad Penn's, yeah, not good.
I don't know. It's pretty generic.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to protect your engine.
It's fine.
It's going to do just fine. I mean, it depends on the realm of what we're talking about. I mean, if you're talking about, like, what's going to protect my engine, then, you know, any name brand racing oil is going to protect your engine just fine.
Hashtag racing oil.
If we're talking, like, producing power because of the oil and the defrictionators it's got in it and everything else, then it's not my first choice. I'll just put it that way.
Okay. All right, I got a new question for you, and I think you're going to like this one.
Okay.
I skimmed it, so...
Well, I like all questions, so, I mean, it's not that
Yeah.
I like one more than the other. It's just...
No, but
I enjoy answering questions for people because it saves me time on the phone at work during the week.
Well, because if one person has a question, a lot of other people have a question.
Exactly.
So, you know, thank you for your bravery in asking the question.
Right.
Tim asks, what are your thoughts on a locked-out distributor versus one with a mechanical advanced on a 604 or USRA, USMTS spec-headed engine, any cubic inch? I would say the fast E7 box you were talking about is probably the ideal box.
It is the ideal box. And I'm more convinced of this after this last week of us testing with my kid's car. Obviously, locked out distributor. I mean, if you don't have the funds to buy the E7 box, then you need a locked out distributor, and you need to be running, you know, whatever timing that you can determine is best for you on your, you know, chassis dyno or engine dyno with the fuel you're running. Generally, on a 604, that's going to be between 34 to 38 degrees of timing. Again, depending on fuel and a bunch of different variables. But, yeah, the E7 box is definitely better. What was the second part of the question?
What are your thoughts on a locked-out distributor versus mechanical advanced?
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, mechanical advanced belongs in nothing when it comes to racing.
Okay, and then on a 604 or USMTS, USRA, spec-headed engine, any cubic inch?
I've always been a big bore short stroke guy. Sorry.
Pause.
Yeah. So.
Hey, you did that to yourself.
Hey, I'm the first to admit it. I'm a short stroke guy.
I'm like a quarter of a bottle of vodka.
No. I mean, seriously, I've always been a big short stroke guy. Long rod combination.
I'm so sorry, but that was hilarious.
No, and the reason being is and high compression ratio too, because as high a compression ratio as you can get, big bore short stroke, long rod combination, you're talking the dwell time at top dead center is like much longer with a short stroke, long rod combination. So, and plus the RPM can be higher in that scenario.